Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is broad daylight, and so I have proper lighting today. I'm just sitting here with Dracula. So now I would like to explain the importance of the scene in the Matrix where the child was bending the spoon and Neo was confused. And I would like to explain the purpose of the Oracle and the Architect. And so ultimately, before I say anything, the irony behind all this is that the points of, from my point of view, the point of the story is that the architect and the oracle were having problems creating a perfect system because the humans were so full of unknown variables. In a world where it was made perfect, it was unbelievable. In a world where it was made not perfect, it was too much hell. In a world where they tried to identify with each and every person, that became ultimately the problem because everybody is their own self, so to speak. But the point of the bending spoon, and it's going to tie into the entire story. I brought up a while back in one of these videos that one of Neo's main powers is that Neo was told what to do all the time. He had like a little cubicle, he had his little workspace, he was always told to do this. Well, the point of that is throughout the movie, he was subtly breaking those norms and laws, opening up new worlds within himself. Now, they may have been happening physically, but the point is he had to believe within himself in order for him to execute some of these actions within the programs. And so the point of the bendy spoon scene and why it was so helpful to Neo, but I think it went over a lot of people's heads, is that ultimately a spoon doesn't bend like that. If you take the laws of physics, those metals may not be malleable enough to bend and do stuff like that. I may have just used that word wrong. I'm sorry. But the point is, the job of a spoon is to be stern because it's a tool, a metal for us to eat with. Well, the point of the child bending the spoon everywhere and Neo being baffled is actually a point where that's the ideology of the architect would be Neo at that point, and the child would actually be, Neo would be the child. And I'm going to explain what I mean. The architect has a set algorithm. Everything is going to happen this way. Well, when things don't happen that way, he was then wrong. When you have somebody with ultimate knowledge and information become wrong, that's when one may be possibly even begin to feel human emotions like anger and fury and wrath when one that thought they were perfect or designed to be perfect could not create a perfect world. It would almost be silly because it's almost funny because in irony, whatever did create the universe, some people like religious people would argue like religion or God or something like that. Well, then a scientist or a machine or something would spend its whole life or time mocking or trying to debunk that, when in actuality, then they couldn't create a perfect world. It would be a smack in the face, so to speak. But the point is, the reason why the architect is Neo and Neo becomes a child is because the whole movie, Neo was told you can only do this or that. You only have the parameters to do this. But because of his friends and because of his own awareness, he began to break from those norms and he began to do things on his own. And I'm going to explain what I mean even with that. He was told he either had the choice to save Trinity or save Zion. In actuality, he saved both. He was told he would die if he did that. Well, he did, but then he was resurrected. And so ultimately, the architect made a bunch of predictions. And even within the movie span, outside of what we didn't see in the 4 times, the architect was wrong. And the Oracle seemed to embellish on this because the Oracle was also a prediction program, or what you would call a, prediction is, I guess I'd just be trying to sound scientific after that, but what's happening is they're taking statistics and analyzing them. Well, humans are not statistics, and that's the problem. that's what I notice a lot in the real world when I hear people say, well, black on black crime, or white people do this and that, and this and blah, 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 and Indians and Mexicans and blah, blah, blah. And people just blindly say that type of stuff. To me, it almost feels like they're a bot or a repetitive program just repeating something that they heard, some information or programming that they were programmed with. And now they're repeating that information. And so that's the point. It was interesting seeing Neo be so confused about the spoon bending constantly. But in ideology, he became the child that began bending the spoon. We'll call the spoon the timeline or the prediction, and changing the future versus what the architect had already predicted. And so that's just an ideology. If you really think about it, look at that in terms of religion. I told you I can go to any aspect of the world if need be, if I can concentrate on that thing. Or anyways, the point is, so I should retract that statement. I am very good at creating metaphors and critically thinking and analyzing situations to the best of my ability. I can only do what I can do. I am simply who I am. And so when dealing with that, if you look at that like a timeline or a time frame, that's just letting people know that you don't have to be bound by something and caught and controlled by that thing. If you look at that in terms of religion, how the one became greater than the architect, you have a spirit of something. Let's say humanity creates a spirit of God. And within that spirit of God, they teach that there's a lot of, if you watch Rick and Morty, there's an episode where like these people in a universe were like just learning and developing. So they thought weird laws existed, like just weird stuff. I'm not going to repeat them. But you look at certain religions, how they worship certain things, or they believe certain things are true, but that's within the psyche, the mental realm, helping them cope or understand the world around them. And so if you look at that in terms of Yehohanan or Jesus, whatever you guys call him, that chosen holy one that went, and then if a spirit was heading like this in a murderous direction because people were murdering for gods or spirits, it was more than just one man, but like the prophets in that book, it said they were getting murdered too, and apostles and all these other people. But if a spirit is heading, interesting thing, Spartacus's army was also crucified. They was fighting the Romans. I mean, and when I say Romans, I'm not being racist, like, oh, Rome's evil. I'm saying the institution of Rome that was created to basically murder and torture people publicly. And sacrifices and fighting lions and animals in domes. It's disgusting. But anyways, if a spirit was headed this way in a murderous way, and then a man did what he did or sacrificed or something, and then boom, he changed the architect's plan, and then inevitably something new came to light. And that could happen at any point. I'm not telling, like I said, I don't teach people to martyr themselves, sacrifice themselves, or do anything stupid to abrupt the law and create extremist groups. I'm simply saying each of us as an individual have a life. I've heard a friend saying over and over, most of us are living that one true way of that holiness, that's simply exemplifying a holy way of doing differently than what we were doing, being a beastly person, but now being a better person. You know, I love cosplaying lore as much as the next person. I've been seeing a lot of videos where like the person, 1 second they're God or they're talking to God, and then the next second they're like them again, and it's been really funny. Or the ones that have the heaven background with when something happens, those are funny too. But I've said this before, the sooner we mythologize some of this stuff and realize the true nature of what's happening, then the world can be a better place. But like I said, I'm not here to tell anybody that they have to do anything. I mean, like I said, humanity is full of unknown variables, and I can mess around and try to come heal something, and then next thing you know, people turn me into a man god, and down in the future, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff that I can't control happens, right? So I teach each individual the kingdom of the heart is within, you know, and we each have the capability. Like, I know the Matrix is just a movie, so I really would implore people to understand that I'm just using those as metaphors to help people understand that there's a world. There are a lot of times are different worlds and or ideas, psychological matrices that exist. And a lot of people ignore themselves and ignore certain things in life that could bring them happiness. And a lot of people trap themselves in cages from religious torment and being taught certain things. And so, you know, life is full of interesting variables. And I I really like how Neo might have been able to do a lot of those things, but Neo's ultimate power was having power and not becoming corrupt. The more power he got, he was still that, almost like a oaf or something like that, like Goku. That's what it reminds me of. When people are powerful but don't let the power get to their heads, like some Clark Kent type stuff, you know what I mean? And so the only thing I can honestly say is, I've said this before, is what is responsibility and what is doing right? You know, everything's subjective to others until we take that information in and it becomes subjective. And that can be with anything. I see on the news, it seems like they're talking to children or coddling people to sway them to think a certain way. And it's really hurting the general intellect of society and humanity. You know, I see them dismantling the Department of Education. I know, like, the government has done audits before. They're famous for that. And going after money. You know, maybe Trump is doing this because I've said this before. In a world where we don't know who our true enemies are and we don't know what people are doing behind doors, and I know there's a lot of corruption in different areas, it seems like Trump is helping African Americans, and I'm gonna explain why. The 14th Amendment thing, I think they was trying to do that for the Native Americans. I don't think, and you see how the judges have people of color, they struck that down. Trump has been shrilling, but he's doing that to get the support of people so that he could ultimately change a lot of this stuff. And I didn't think that this would start happening, but there isn't taxes on overtime anymore. And I don't know exactly who did that, but I could do some research on that. And there's a lot of things changing, but he did just enact steel tariffs, but I already got a place and I'm already set and good to go. But that came from the left. Those were the left's years, man. The left has, I heard a guy on the comment say, and education is important too, to actually know what these people are doing so that you're not just blindly speaking silly. But I showed y'all the minimum wage on camera up here in Illinois and some of these northern states. And we have all kinds of programs that haven't ended yet because the governors and different people in Illinois are not bound to that stuff. You know, because federal, I'm going to give you an example. While Trump's trying to dismantle the federal government, he is the federal government. It's like irony. Let's say they had a law to where you had to make the drinking age 21. Now, federally, I'm going to explain what that means for the states. If the state wanted to follow that law, they can. And so, but what happens is if they don't follow that law, they lose federal funding. That's all that means. The states still ultimately have the power. These people, when they get on the news and camera, because what happens is all these people live in states. It's the United States of America. The federal government is a concept of extra offices and places within the United States. While it has a lot of power, the states still have their power. And a lot of them aren't bowing to these programs. That's why you keep seeing people get on camera and with their southern states and their different states that's bowing to his executive orders. I don't know what to tell y'all. They're getting what they asked for. Anybody that didn't vote for Trump isn't under his federal. If you vote for somebody and sign your name in all these places, you're under a contract. I hope y'all know that. But y'all don't seem to understand and want to do research and learn certain things. But, you know, so I am thankful for all the people that fight the system. You're the ones bending the spoon. You're not allowing Zion to be destroyed, if that makes sense. I'm not talking about Judaism. I'm still talking about the matrix and ideology. Because I'm going to give you another example of people trying to bend the spoon to stab people instead of bending the spoon to help feed people. I looked up, once again, where did blacksmithing come from? And it popped up Mesopotamia, Turkey, Syria, those types of areas. And I thought to myself, that's a super blatant lie. They were doing metallography in Egypt. It might not have been steel and certain metals that are in the mountains where they could go and mine those things. And I'm going to explain that in a second. But let's say you already know about mining and all this other stuff, but you have rocks in Africa and mountains and certain things, but nothing like the Caucasus Mountains and Europe and all these places far north. So then by the time they start going further north and going further east, they inevitably find these different ores and mountains and create steels and different things. And so they might have created new metals, or not even created, but discovered and invented new metals, but blacksmithing already existed. You guys, like, when you see When I look at some of the sculptures from African history with all these videos I'm watching, these are in museums. They're in European museums. So you can't say, oh, lefty, not doing it. So the artwork is ridiculous. It's like, what time period were they doing this in? They had all the stuff. But as they ventured out throughout the world, they discovered new things. So yes, Mesopotamia may have discovered stronger metals, but don't get it twisted. Don't bend the spoon the wrong way and drop your porridge, if you catch my drift. Because some people for a long time were eating meats covered with salts to preserve it, had no access to farming, and was stealing potatoes from Ireland. I wish y'all would stop improperly bending the spoon, if you catch my drift. And so the reason I brought that up is because you guys can do the research. Obama years ago, and they questioned him in the news as to why he was helping farmers. But he made all these programs for farmers, a whole bunch of programs for farmers. He created the ACA. His administration had the ACA. They started calling it Obamacare. Trump got on the news talking about he's not American. He's not American. He's Middle Eastern, blah, 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 destroying his character. Now Trump is trying to sue a news corporation or a public viewing corporation because they edited a little bit of a video. How many times this dude has lied, but he can do that? So, like I said, it's all about what the people are going to follow and who they're calling. I see people calling him Christ of South Africa and out here and all this other stuff. Boy, be not deceived. Be not. I know y'all not deceived, the true ones, but. And the true ones ain't talking about no skin. Shit. Ask silly if y'all want to. He tried to remove MLK Day and these other programs, but I'm explaining to you why he did that. Why would he move LGBTQ and Holocaust Day along with these black civil rights? Now, see, if it wasn't attached to them black civil rights, what would have happened to them programs? He know what he doing. Certain things he do still want here. And when I try to explain to y'all, this dude is from a sanctuary state. He's from New York. I didn't know this. His mother is an immigrant from Scotland. His father is a birthright citizen because his grandfather came here from Germany. His wife is an immigrant. How deep down that rabbit hole do y'all want to go of self-hatred? It's not affecting us, the ones who y'all thought it would, and it's only merely exposing people's stupidity. So back to the farmers, right? He created all these programs for the farmers. All that stuff just got cut. And it's been getting cut over time. Because he was a president before. Remember the Muslim bans and the steel tariffs that increased the housing prices? He just did the steel tariffs again. So, y'all got a couple years, I think, to vote again for more senators that can stop a lot of this stuff. People like Marjorie Greene Taylor, Jewish space lasers, dude. That's who y'all want controlling over y'all life in the South and stuff. Take example of how we living up here. South Park, that show is funny. Different shows like that tell the truth, man. Y'all. Because when I say tell the truth, you have to see past of course it's a cartoon. But you have to understand the political messages within the cartoon. How those little bitty boys have the common sense in that show, but all these grown adults are running around like NPCs and bots that have been programmed by different news sources and family members. So, another interesting thing that I found out is that show Dragon Ball Z, where'd they get Super Saiyans from? Y'all will say, oh, it means this and that. But if you take the P out of Homo sapiens, which is the original man from hominids, you get Saiyans. Take the P out of sapien and tell me what you get. Saiyan. So I thought that was interesting. I'm just be walking one day and then start flying. No, but just little stuff like that. I think a lot, and but I don't allow it to like make me delusional and be like, oh, I'm a Super Saiyan and I can fly, all that stuff. Like I told you, all there's different things in the Matrix that could cause harm in the real world. I use those things to apply them in life. So maybe where one day I'm sitting on my couch and I'm getting upset. Now I think, oh, maybe I could be like the Black Panther. or I could be like Robin Hood, or I could be like Littlefoot and be strong and just keep going on. You know what I mean? Just different characters, or Simba, something like that. You know, that's a part of the spiritual matrix, the psychological matrix, because sometimes, just like in that book, David had to talk to himself and cope and different stuff like that. That can be applied to oneself to help oneself get over things. You know what I mean? I see certain people, preachers and different whatnot, trying to bend spoons, and they're melting the spoon in their hand, and then their hands close shut, and then they're punching themselves in the face with spoon hand. Yeah, that was a terrible metaphor, but the point is, that's what it feels like, some of these people in religion. Be not deceived. I keep seeing all these videos with different people, and they be talking about donate to our mosque or our Quran and buy these new mats, and Allah blesses those who bless others. And when I heard they came up with the peace deal and then Trump ignored it, and then the other neighboring countries said, he was like, they could go to the Jordan and Egypt and these different places, and they said no. I was like, and I be seeing all these people with them little picnic basket do-rags on with the little bandana, eating all these big old camels and pigs and all this rice, and then y'all eat it with your hands and then give it to the people behind you, the poor people and the staff. Like, holy frick, dude, y'all. The future can see, they will see, should I say. But anyways, it is what it is, man. What African Americans have been telling y'all is the truth. That's why a lot of people that are in America love our culture. And you see them, you can always tell the difference. I know the Hispanics and the different people that's down and the Asians that's down. I'm not like that. I don't just go, oh, I hate the whole community. It's still the United States of America. Just know we sitting back and we waiting, because we seen what all y'all is doing out there to y'all own people. So we know what's up. We knew y'all would do. I mean, in most of my videos, I explain these rich elites would use these people as slaves. And when it started to happen and they get on camera and get upset, right, all those farmers for Trump, look at all the farmers, because it's these farmers and the farmers across the world. You know, if you guys do some political research in the world, a lot of these Western African countries and different places are seriously building up. And Ibrahim Traore is causing a seriously hard time for France. I love it. And these different countries. And I see European countries and different people getting mad because they're naming their streets back. Why the fuck would I want a slave master street name? If I had the power to, I'd do the same thing. It's beautiful. Bend y'all spoon back to the way y'all want to. And ain't nobody finna lay no finger on y'all head or do anything. They gonna accept their fate. Or else. What do you mean? The world, America and Europe think they just so populated and powerful. But I'm telling y'all, y'all are but a minority to the world. All these different characters and movies and stuff that y'all have whitewashed, the history that y'all have whitewashed, it is known now. What do you think Caucasian means? You're light-skinned Asians. And so in a world where y'all be like light-skinned, y'all are just the light-skinned Asians. Y'all be exhibiting light-skinned behavior. It would make sense as to why. See how Drake is a light-skinned amongst the African Americans, and this brother went from the coldest artist to lawsuiting people. I mean, I just can't believe it. Then you look at the Caucasians, sometimes they exhibit light-skinned behavior. Now, like I said, not everybody's the same. But while the Asians cool and hip sometimes, well, there's a lot shrilling for their light skins, though. The Indians do it too. Everybody does it. I see it across the world. They hate darker skinned people and they treat them different. It ain't right. And I hate that shit. That's that shit I hate. That's one of the things that the Lord fucking hates. But all I can do is talk to the best of my ability, because a family is a family. And if y'all keep destroying the darker shades and faction of humanity, it's going to come back. What does it say? I'm rubber, you're glue. It's going to come bounce off of me and come back to you. Remember that back in the day? I'm just explaining to y'all. Y'all even got this in all y'all little holy books. They know what I'm talking about over there in East Asia too, with them little karma books and whatnot. So like I said, Russia, East Asia's doing a good thing right now. Some of them. That podcast with that Matt Kim dude, oof. You are like the Asian Hodge twins, bro. Y'all need to chill the fuck out. What y'all doing to Indian people, yeah, they shrilling, but they gotta learn. What y'all doing to their character, because Britain, in case y'all don't know about history, Britain completely demolished India. They were slaves to India. I mean, India was their slaves for a while. And then you got the Middle East taking over Africa and Europe taking over Africa too. And so, and Britain and a lot of these Germanic countries too. So what ends up happening is you see these people shrilling for other sides. And when I say other sides, I mean sides of humanity that don't like other people for some reason. You see them shrilling for them, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? They're going to come for you or rend you. They don't like you. They're using you. Like I saw that one lady from Venezuela or something, like, we love Trump, we trust him. And he's holding her arms like, hey, chill. And when he held her arms and was holding her up, y'all didn't do all that creepy Trump stuff like y'all did Biden. It's selective bullshit. I told y'all. And so now that Trump's president and he's suing CBS for $20 billion or however much, that's dictatorship. Now he's stealing money from corporations because he's mad. Like, what is happening? Did Biden sue the news company? Did Obama sue the news companies that all freaking lied on him and call him all those names for trying to meet up with Kim Jong-un and take care of the situation in Syria and all this other stuff? Syria is considered a Middle Eastern / palm color country. So why is it getting so much media attention, but none of these African countries and these South American countries? Right. And when they do get media, did you know that Gaddafi was trying to give Farrakhan $1 billion for reparations for us? And the Treasury tore that shit apart. They said, they're under sanctions. Y'all can't receive nothing from them. Y'all won't even let other countries give us reparations. And then y'all went and had Gaddafi. What happened with Gaddafi? The Lords is not happy. But I'm trying to bend that mercy spoon as much as possible on this camera and talk to you people. So, like Neo, I will not bow, and I am gracious merciless, and I will fight for as long as I am. And if I am is, then I guess this is going to be another long round. As the architect has told me, look in that book, I've destroyed y'all 5 times, and this will be the 6th, JB6. And I said, fuck it. Start playing some music for a second. He was like, you're not like the other JB6s. They was like, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, what am I going to do? Then I flew out the door, an explosion, and blah, 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 blah. Y'all know, that's just a little cosplay, you know, I'm just talking shit. But I will not bow. I love humanity. I love people. I love life. And I hope we figure it out soon. This is not a plea for me saying, oh, I'm going to help you people and save you and blah, blah, blah. I'm just telling y'all, man, better luck next time. Maybe y'all learn. Maybe y'all start to love your counterparts. You know, I'm always hopeful. Maybe we'll stop being like a mentally ill art class that hates half the colors in the box. Good luck.
You just always been a tighter rush that I've been laid back, yeah. I don't wanna skip steps, you know that. So if you're with it, then say yeah. I just need a little bit of patience. You need me, I know that you've been waiting. Down my number twice, promise I'll pick up the line. I see you worried, don't gotta ask why. You like it, I know that you like it. You like it, yeah, you like it. I know that you like it, you like it. You said that you were down just yesterday, hoping you'll stick around and wait for me. I see you wanna come up, but don't switch up on me. Yeah, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you. You said that you were down, hoping you'll stick around, hoping you'll be around for me. You said that you were down, 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 down. Yeah, you just always been a type to rush things. You just always been a type that can't wait. You just always been a type that can't wait for me. It's been a mess and I'm trying to dial back. Can you stick through it with me or not? And it might take a minute, but we'll get it. The type of love that you want, like it. I know that you like it, you like it, yeah, you like it. I know that you like it, you like it. stick around and wait for me. I see you wanna come up, but don't switch up on me. Yeah, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you. You said that you were down, hoping you'll stick around, hoping you'll be around for me. You said that you were down just yesterday, hoping you'll stick around and wait for me. I see you wanna come up, but don't switch up on me. Yeah, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you, I know that you. You said that you were down, hoping you'll stick around, hoping you'll be around with me. You said that you were down, 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 down. I know that you like it. I know that you, I know that.
Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare. Don't you know? Don't judge me. I just wish you knew. That's just like you. I miss you as I need you. I want you. I think you're really cool. Yeah, that's what I said. You break it, you bought it.